Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast. Today is another exciting episode of the podcast. It's not another preview, it's not another match reaction, it's another grading the transfers of this time not League One clubs but Premier League clubs. We said that if we hit a certain amount of likes, a certain amount of subscribers by I think I said before Thursday, that I would release this episode before Thursday. I'm not going to lie to you. I've only literally just posted the League One predictions. I've got a haircut. As you can tell, it is a different day. It is the day after that, and I said I was going to post the League One on Tuesday. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you haven't watched that, definitely recommend the League One predictions. But if you're a Premier League fan of a club, then this is the one for you, because we're going to be doing Premier League grading how your team has done in the market, bus sales. And arrivals as well. Before we crack on though, if you'd like to subscribe to the Young Fan Podcast YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, we are at Young Fan Podcast. On Instagram, we are at The Young Fan Podcast. Which is very, very cool as well. If you want to be notified, should I say, whenever we upload an episode of the podcast, on YouTube, turn on that notification bell as well, so you'd never miss an episode of the podcast, because I wouldn't want to miss it if I were you. And also, I've just forgotten, as I'm talking about this as well, I do also release my announce that when I do a new episode on Instagram and on Twitter as well. I haven't actually done this for the recent League One, because I'm not gonna lie, I've literally just posted it. I've got straight back on to do the Premier League one right now, so I haven't actually had time to put it on social media. But we're already doing pretty well. Hopefully you like it as well. Give you feedback on that in the comments of that episode as well. And here we are, day later. This should be out on Wednesday, doing the Premier League one as well, which is very, very exciting. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's crack on with it, and we're going to go in alphabetical order, like I did the League One one. I did it a bit differently. I did it in the opposite of my predictions, from top to bottom. I'm now going to go in alphabetical order for Arsenal, as they are going to be, I don't know what I said, for Arsenal, for the Premier League, which starts with Arsenal. So Arsenal have got themselves a B, in my opinion, in the transfer market. They brought in Gabriel, £27 million, a very, very good centre-back. Started very, very strong for Arsenal as well. Saliba, £27 million, another centre-back in for Arsenal as well. Willian is in for a free, which is pretty decent, only paying the pretty hefty wage, I can imagine, for him. They've got Sabas back on loan from Real Madrid. However, they did sell Mkhitaryan to Roma for a permanent deal. That is an undisclosed fee. We don't know how much they've made for him, but they have made £20 million for Emiliano Martinez, who obviously has gone to Aston Villa. Very, very good when he stepped in. When Leno was injured, he came out. It sort of, and turned out to be a very, very good goalkeeper. He'd sort of been the backup goalkeeper for Arsenal. He turned out to be a very good goalkeeper, and Aston Villa have snapped it up from Arsenal for £20 million. A good amount of money for Arsenal, and hopefully for them, they can reinvest that into potentially a new player, a new midfielder. The reason why they've got us out of B is because I still think their squad does need to be improved. I feel like they are still, players away from sort of closing that gap completely. However, I do think they've done some good business. Of course, I also know as well, Saliba was obviously signed last transfer window. However, he's obviously come in for this transfer window as well. I'm not sure why I've written it down, because it should have been the last one, but he's playing this one, so I'm going to count it. And Gabriel as well, as a fantastic centre-back. Willian and Sabas as well. Arsenal, you got yourself a B. I'm happy with that. Aston Villa, you got yourself a B+. You've brought in Martinez, as we just mentioned, for £20 million. That is a quality goalkeeper. Obviously, you had Pepe Reina on loan last season. He got himself a great goalkeeper in Martinez there. Matty Cash, the right back from Nottingham Forest, for £16 million. Good money for Nottingham Forest. £16 million for a Championship side. Of course, they are struggling in the Championship at the moment, but £16 million is good money for them. Ollie Watkins, they spent quite a lot of money on Ollie Watkins from Brentford. £28 million, of course. Yesterday we spoke about, or today for me, but this would have been yesterday's episode. We spoke about Peterborough, losing Ivan Toney as a striker to go to Brentford. Well, that's because Ollie Watkins, of course, has been sold a good amount of money to Aston Villa. £28 million. That is not cheap for Aston Villa, but a good amount of money for Brentford as well. They want to make profit on their players, and if you're selling players for £28 million aside from flipping, I don't know who they bought. I think it was from Plymouth they bought him from. £28 million is a lot of money. So good one for Brentford, but a good buy for Aston Villa. They need a goal scorer, and I think they're going to get one in Ollie Watkins. He looks very, very very good. Of course, Bertrand Traore from Lyon as well. They bought him for £17 million as well. No significant outs either. That's why they've got to have a B+. They've sorted out a goalie, quality right back. They've got to have a striker of good quality as well. And Bertrand Traore looks like a very good winger as well from Lyon. And, you spent quite a lot of money, but I'm glad they've done that. Aston Villa, you've done very, very well. You spent money as well, and you've started the season pretty well. Let's get on with Brighton then. Brighton, you got yourself a C+. You brought in Joel Veltman for just under £1 million. Jensen Wire. Or where's it Wire? I'm not sure how you pronounce that completely. However, you bought him for an underclose fee as well. You brought Adam Lallana in on a free and then Donker on a free as well. A C- isn't great. You haven't spent any money other than the Joel Veltman money. I'm guessing you did spend money for the Ware one, but it's underclose. We don't know how much that is. Adam Lallana is a decent addition on a free transfer, but he's getting on a little bit now and quite injury prone. Den Donker as well is obviously for a free transfer from Club Brugge. He looks pretty decent, but again, is it Premier League quality? Is it what Brighton need? I'm guessing he is Premier League quality. Maybe he is. I'm not sure. It's a question. It's not me, not me suggesting not. But is he? That's the sort of thing you've got to ask yourself. But Brighton already have started okay. They've obviously recently controversially lost to Manchester United 3-2. VAR handball controversy all over the shop over there. But hopefully for Brighton, those players can be decent. Adam Lallana can stay fit, and if you do that, you've got to have a really quality free transfer there. A C+ for you, Brighton. The first pretty low one of the grading Premier League transfer business this summer. I understand the transfer window hasn't yet finished. I 100% understand that. However, I want to get this out before then because a lot of people have already done this, so hopefully you can enjoy this one. As well, and obviously we've got lots of things at Oxford United and League One stuff coming your way as well, and plenty more of things as well. Hence why you should subscribe. Really, Burnley, you've got yourself a D. You bought Dale Stephens in on a free transfer actually no, I think it was under close fee from obviously Brighton. I want to say free. I put it under close. I'm not sure why. I think it was free. Diallo, you bought him for a free as well. Other than that, you pretty much did nothing. You released Joe Hart. You released Jeff Hendrick. Obviously, Joe Hart's gone to Tottenham. Jeff Hendrick's gone to Newcastle as well. But two players there: Dale Stephens, Diallo. Two players joining the club. Two players joining the club. So obviously there were a few players other Burnley players that joined, but they've gone to the under-23s, under-18s, so that I haven't counted that. I'm talking first team players. And obviously they have released loads and loads of players like clubs do in transfer windows, but the main ones you got rid of are Joe Hart and Jeff Hendrick, even though they were both released, but they've both been taken by other clubs in the Premier League. So I guess that is a significant departure for them. But Dale Stephens and Diallo for Burnley, not great signings, but Burnley don't tend to do big business. Is this going to be the season where they get relegated? It hasn't started well for them. If they want to keep in this division and keep going, they need to spend money. Chelsea, the big one, of course. A lot of people are going to be wondering, what's Chelsea got? What have they got? I've given them an A. Thiago Silva on a free transfer hasn't started the season as well as obviously a lot of people anticipated, but he's getting on a little bit now. He's still going to turn out, I'm sure, to be a short-term fix, but a fantastic short-term fix for Chelsea's defences and defensive incidents. That's a bit of a difficult one to get out, but defensive issues. What did I say? Incidents. Issues. Thiago Silva will certainly help that. Werner, of course, was the release clause. I'm not sure how much it was. It was under close fee online. Ziyech for £36 million is very, very good money as well. They bought a player in from Barcelona, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name. Chilwell for £45 million as well. Obviously, Malang Sarr for free. He's gone back out on loan. I'm pretty sure he's gone back out on loan to Germany. Kai Havertz, of course, the big one, £71 million with add-ons as well. And obviously the new goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, for £22 million as well. They've done a lot of business. They really have spent the cash. They spent a lot of Wonga in this transfer window. That's why they've got us out of A. They've shown ambition. They've backed Frank Lampard. And also, I'm looking at the departure, well, £50 million for Alvaro Morata. That is a lot of money. You think about that as well. I'm looking at this now. That £50 million for Morata is literally Mendy and Ziyech as well. I guess Mendy and Ziyech. A little bit over, but around and about. Think of Morata's wage as well. Off that as well. I'm sure he was on a pretty hefty fee. So Ziyech and Mendy for Morata. A quality goalkeeper and a quality attacking midfielder that, of course, is injured at the moment, but I'm sure for Chelsea will turn out to be a very, very good one when he gets back fit. Chelsea, you've got yourself an A. Crystal Palace, I've given you a B. You bought an Eze for £19.5 million, of course, from QPR. Very, very, very good young English central attacking midfielder as well, sort of partnership with Zaha potentially. Ferguson you bought from free from West Brom, a really good centre back there. I mean, I think he's pretty decent. I want to say he's pretty decent. Of course, Batshuayi comes back on loan for Crystal Palace as well. Didn't get as much playing time and probably won't get as much playing time under Chelsea with Werner, Giroud, Abraham, all those players. All those strikers at Chelsea. Makes sense to loan him out to Crystal Palace. Hopefully for him, he can do very well. And hopefully for Crystal Palace, he can get some goals as well. They have sold a striker in Sorlov, under close fee as well. For him, I'm pretty sure, and I know he has. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure I know he has gone to RB Leipzig. So for them, they've got himself a player. Crystal Palace, though, didn't really want to keep him. Didn't really perform that well for Crystal Palace. So he's gone to RB Leipzig, and I'm guessing they got some decent money for him. Everton, a team that have also started very, very strongly, and what a transfer window they had in Carlo Ancelotti. I've given them an A-. The reason why, Jack, A-. What are you doing? The reason why I give them an A- is because if they get a centre-back, if they got Gabriel, as he went to Arsenal, so they're heavily linked with him, if they get Tomori on loan from Chelsea, if they get another centre-back like that in, they have definitely got themselves an A, pushing, depending on who the centre-back is, to an A+. That is quality business. James Rodriguez for £20 million is a bargain. I mean, what he's done in the Premier League so far in his first 3 games has been spectacular. £20 million for him. Free on Nkuku is what I want to say. Free transfer for, in there as well, which is good business. Allen for £22 million from Napoli as well. Worked with Carlo Ancelotti, as did James Rodriguez. Really, really good business for them, and a quality midfielder for only £22 million. That is an absolute bargain. And Decore as well for £20 million from relegated Watford. So decent business. Not decent business, better than that. Very good business for Everton. They've started the season very well. They look good. They look quality. Carlo Ancelotti's got them playing football, and they've got some really good signings in there as well. Really excited to see more of Everton. Fulham, of course, controversy as I'm recording this the same day. Of course, the director of football has come out and basically said he's sorry about the lack of transfer business. Scott Parker, the manager, of course, has actually said that it hasn't been very helpful. He didn't agree with him coming out. He's sort of openly speaking about the transfers. I've given them a C. I've actually written a C down, but I'm looking at transfers. They needed players. They need more players to stay in this division. They're getting a C-, unfortunately. Fulham fans. Robinson for £2 million from Wigan. He's a decent player, but is he Premier League quality? You tell me. Knockout, of course, was on loan from the Championship last season from Brighton. He now comes in on a permanent deal to Fulham for an underclosed fee. Lemina, of course, on loan from Southampton has come in. Reed for £6 million from also Southampton. Areola's a really good goalkeeper from Real Madrid on loan as well. That's quite a good goalkeeper situation and a goalkeeper player in him. But I'm pretty sure they've got Rodak as well, so I'm not sure what they're doing there. Tete, Lee on underclosed fee, and Aina on loan as well. So quite a lot of business, but is it enough to keep him in the Premier League? You tell me. I'm not too sure. Leave me in the comments. Let me know. Leeds, they've started the season, of course, very, very well. Lost to Liverpool, but they've got points. They've got points in their last 2 games. Helder Costa from Wolves, £16 million as well. He looks like a decent winger. Mazilia, is that how you pronounce the goalkeeper's name? The young French goalkeeper, underclosed fee. He looks pretty decent. He has started the season very, very well. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from him. Dramea, underclosed fee as well. Jack Harrison's come back in on loan from Manchester City. He had a really good season in the Championship. He's back. He's already scored a goal, of course, in the Premier League as well. Sam Greenwood, the striker, underclosed fee. He's come from Arsenal. Looks like a really young, promising player there. Rodrigo, of course, a pretty experienced striker. £26 million for him. They spent a lot, but he's got certainly a player, certainly a striker. And so hopefully he can do well for Leeds as well. Obviously Koch as well. I know. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it? I know. I'm not going to give it a second attempt. The more I do it, the more I ruin myself. Underclosed fee for him, and a Rente underclosed fee as well. B- for Leeds. They've done decent business. It looks like they could have some more business on the way as well. It's looking good, but that is some good business for a team that's just come up. Good signings for Leeds. That's why you got to have a B. And you start the season very well as well, with those signings proving to be very, very good. Leicester, B-. Of course, they've made money this transfer window. Chilwell joined Chelsea, of course, for £50 million or £45 million. I'm not sure. Press the add-ons on there. I'm pretty sure it's 50. Castagna obviously comes in, the left back from Atalanta. £25 million for him. And he looks like he is going to be the Ben Chilwell replacement, or has been the Ben Chilwell replacement. He looks very, very good. He started the season very well. Got a goal, of course, and also helping the assist as well. They've started the season so well, beating Manchester City 5-2. That is unbelievable. Under as well has come in on loan as well. It looks like they could be bringing in another player at Leicester City as well. So that should be very interesting to see how that goes. But Leicester, you've got yourself a B minus because you sold a big player, you've made money, and you've also invested that into Castagna as well, who's a very, very good left back. And you look like you're going to bring someone else in as well. I'm pretty sure they tried to bring in Jonathan Tah. A loan bid has been rejected with an option to buy on there as well. But if they can get him in, or they can get another centre back in, or something like that, things could be looking good at Leicester. Liverpool. You got yourself an A. Diego Jota, £45 million. Only just taking your team, you're taking your attack to the next level. Thiago as well for £20 million. That is a steal. Champions League, European champion in Thiago. £20 million from European champion to European champion. £20 million. What a bargain that is for one of the best attacking midfielders and midfielders in the world. I'm not going to pronounce the Greek right back they got. £11.7 million for him. He looks pretty decent. Their recruitment has always been very, very good at Liverpool. That's why you got yourself an A. I'm impressed with them. They obviously have got rid of Lovren for £10 million. I mean, he's not young. £10 million for what is nearly a 30-year-old. I mean, he might even be 30. I'm not going to look it up, but I'm going to say he's probably about 30. He looks 30. No offence, Dejan Lovren, if you're watching, I doubt you are. £10.9 million for a player like that. That's good business. That basically has allowed you to buy your Greek right back, who looks like going to be decent cover and fullback as well. Is it Hoover? £9 million. Strange name. Sure, he's a lovely bloke. £9 million for him. Nearly £10 million for someone that probably hasn't kicked a football for Liverpool's first team. And of course, you got rid of Anton Lallana on a free transfer to Brighton as well. But the players you brought in, Diego Jota's quality. Thiago's very, very decent. More than decent, top quality. And the Greek right back as well. Good business. You've strengthened what is already a quality side. Manchester City, a B plus for you. Nathan Ake for £41 million. I mean, obviously, they got relegated, obviously, Bournemouth, but £41 million for a good centre-back in Nathan Ake. Questions will be asked. £41 million, quite a lot of money for a player that's just been relegated, but there's no doubt there's quality there. £41 million, they need to sort that defensive situation as well, after just conceding 5 goals at home to Leicester. Ferran Torres as well, £21 million for him. Haven't seen him. I don't think he played. I don't think he has played for Manchester City yet. Moreno, one of the greatest fiend, never heard of him. Yan Kutu, the only way I've heard of him. I think Manchester City tend to sign him on pretty much every single Football Manager save. As well, I'm pretty sure he's a fullback. £5.5 million for him. He looks pretty decent, and Ruben Diaz is on the verge of signing as well. And it looks like Otamendi could be going the other way as well. A potential swap deal with a few bits of money here and there as well. But Ruben Diaz is a quality centre back. Him and Nathan Ake and Laporte and John Stones, they've got lots of different options at centre-back now. Hopefully they can turn out to be good because they need to. 5 goals at home, simply not good enough. And also, I should remind you there, £54 million for Leroy Sané. That looks like decent business as well. I mean, they're about to spend another £50-odd million on Ruben Diaz, maybe even more. People are going to say, are they breaking more rules? I mean, first of all, apparently they didn't break any rules the first time. And second of all, you have to remember as well, they have made £54 million for Leroy Sané as well. So, it's not good bad business in that sense. Manchester United, if you're a Manchester United fan going into this season, of course, you're off to Crystal Palace. You only just beat Brighton. It hasn't been a very promising start to the season for you. But you've got a win. Agallo continues, obviously, his loan as well. And Donny van der Beek, who's a great signing. £40 million for him. Linked with Real Madrid, Barcelona. Lots of different clubs. Lots of top quality sides as well. £40 million for him. Are they going to sign Jadon Sancho here? We don't know. Obviously, my second ever episode of the podcast is the Jadon Sancho deal off at Manchester United. I mean, it's still going now. I mean, that was probably nearly a month ago I put that episode out. You still haven't got him. Manchester United, what are you planning? Of course, alternatives are being considered. Who are they going to be? Are you going to get a centre-back? Are you going to get a left-back? Questions to be asked all over the shop from you. C- for Manchester United. Not a great transfer window for you. But however, you are looking to get rid of Andres Pereira on a permanent deal to Lazio. And it also looks like Chris Smalling could be at the door to Rome on a permanent deal as well. Newcastle, a B- for Newcastle. Jeff Hendrick has joined from a free, and a lot of people laughed at that. A lot of people laughed at Jeff Hendrick, but I must say, he looks pretty decent. He was decent at Burnley. Not, Jeff Hendrick for a free transfer doesn't sound too over the top, but he has turned out to be a decent player for them. He's obviously got a goal as well. He looks pretty decent. Callum Wilson to replace Linton up front. Obviously, Joe Linton has moved out on the left and the right as well. Wilson could solve those Newcastle striker situations. Fraser, of course, for a free transfer from Bournemouth. That is quality. Free transfer for you. Jamal Lewis as well, into close from Norwich as well. That's a really, really good signing, I must say. Jamal Lewis, a very, very promising young, surprise, surprise, a young English fullback, because we haven't got enough of them already, but he's a quality one for sure. Sheffield United, a C- for you. You've brought in Lau from Derby. I'm pretty sure it's from Derby. I'm pretty sure that's the Lau I'm thinking of. Ramsdale for £18 million from Bournemouth as well. Amperty brought on a loan from Chelsea. And you've done a Burke for Robertson swap deal with West Brom Jalby. And other than that, you've not done much business. -C for you. Southampton, I've given you a C. You haven't done a lot of business, but you've done a few bits of a decent business. Walker Peters, of course, you've made a permanent signing for £12 million as well. And obviously Salisu, £10.9 million. That is it. You have lost Højbjerg to, obviously, your captain to Tottenham, who was obviously very, very good for you. But you've brought in 2 decent players. C for Southampton. Average. Tottenham, though. I mean, if we were doing this about 2 weeks ago, I probably would have to give you a C, maybe even a C-, but you've up yourself to a B. You've signed Gareth Bale back on loan. That is unbelievable. So excited to see him back in the Premier League. Reguilon, left back, £20 million. You snatched him off Real Madrid and also snatched him off Man United while at it. Højbjerg as well looks good. Hart in goals is a decent backup. And Doherty as well for £14.7 million for a right back of that quality is good business. I know he's getting on a little bit now, but he's still 28, 27 years old. For £14 million of a player of that quality, I'm impressed, Tottenham. You've done well. You have lost Vertonghen on a free, but I think that was the plan anyway. Of course, you lost Walker Peters for £12.5 million, I'm pretty sure. So just £12 million to Southampton. I'm sure there was something going on with the Højbjerg, Southampton, Walker Peters situation. I'm sure there was something going on there. And Wanyama, you lost on a free as well. There were a few released other ones, but I didn't really want to write them all down. And they weren't of severe significance, so I haven't written them down. West Brom Jalby, you've got yourself a C. Pereira, you made a permanent deal from Sporting. Diangana, of course, upset some West Ham fans when he left. I mean, he didn't personally upset them, but the board for letting him go at West Ham were upset. You've signed him. He looks like he's got a goal as well for West Brom, so that's very exciting for you. Callum Robinson, of course, with the swap with Oliver Burke with... I can't remember who it was now. It was with... Sheffield United, that's the one. And Ivanovic, the young... He's far from young. He's the complete opposite. He's getting on a lot now. And to be honest with you, I thought he retired. I thought he retired from football, but apologies again for to Ivanovic because he's back. He's back in the Premier League for playing West Brom. That experience in the dressing room, I'm sure that's what they're thinking. West Ham, you got yourself a D plus. I thought a D minus would be a bit harsh. A D plus for you. Obviously, put in permanent signing of is it right? Soyshek, is that how you say it? £50 million for him. He does look good, but you have got rid of Diangana. That wasn't very good for you. That didn't go down very well with the West Ham fans. Jetty, £4 million, £4.5 million, and Hugill has gone to Norwich for £5 million. Well, so you made a little bit of money. We don't know how much you made for Diangana, and you have brought in Souček as well. But you want Tarkowski apparently from Burnley, but they keep rejecting your bid there, so it's not going very well for you, West Ham. Hopefully for you, you can get some signings over the line because. You've just beaten Wolves 4-0, so you look decent, but I'm sure you want more signings. We saw David Moyes. We want some more signings as well. Wolves, you've got yourself a B minus. Marcel for £2 million looks decent. I'm pretty sure he's a defender, if that's the right one I'm thinking of. Fabio Silva, £35 million for him. Young Portuguese wonder kid from what it sounds like. I did actually hear of him before. He looks very, very good. £35 million. The Portuguese additions coming in, of course. We know they love a Portuguese with the Portuguese manager Nuno, of course. Hoover as well, £9 million from Liverpool. I'm not sure what he's like or I don't think I've ever seen him play. And now Semedo for £27 million. Good business. Barcelona, £27 million. I'm pretty sure Barcelona spent a lot of money on him when he joined from Benfica to Barcelona. Is that right? Now Semedo has now gone to Wolves for £27 million. Excited to see him in the Premier League. He looks good. Semedo for Doherty. I know Doherty was very, very good. I just said he was good, but Semedo as well is a really good player. They have obviously lost Jota and Doherty, like I mentioned earlier. So a B minus for you. And that is everyone, I'm pretty sure. Let's just run round then. Arsenal, B. Aston Villa, B+. Brighton, a C-. Burnley, a D. Burnley, a D. Chelsea, an A. Crystal Palace, a B. Everton, a minus A, an A minus. A C for Fulham. A B minus for Leeds. A B minus for Leicester. An A for Liverpool. B plus for Manchester City, a C minus for Manchester United, B minus for Newcastle, C minus for Sheffield United, C for Southampton, a B for Tottenham, a C for West Brom, a D plus for West Ham, and a B minus for Wolves. Good stuff. That is ranking, or should I say grading, or should I say comparing all the different teams, how their business has gone with each other. Very. I'm glad we've done that. I'm very excited. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed going through each other's going through each club's business as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that. The way you can show that you enjoyed it, of course, is leaving a like on this episode of the podcast and subscribing as well. That'd be fantastic. By the time this goes out, we might have already hit 83 subscribers. This is what I wanted and what I really hope you can do, which is 2 more subscribers from the last one. We might have already done that. If we have, fantastic. I'm not going to ask for more. I just hope you enjoy it. That's why I do it. I just want you to enjoy the podcast. That is why I create this podcast, and that is what we're trying to create on here on the Young Fan Podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It should be 3 episodes daily at the moment. Obviously, as I'm recording, I've just put out obviously the League One grading, the Premier League grading, and it should be a preview for the Crewe Alexander Oxford United game as well next as well. So you've got a Tuesday upload, a Wednesday upload on the podcast, and a Thursday episode on the podcast as well, and Sunday for the match reaction. There is episodes of the podcast, episodes of the Young Fan Podcast flying at you. It is unbelievable. I'm absolutely loving it. Hopefully you are as well. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Remember, the socials are linked in the description. I mentioned it earlier as well. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Turn that notification bell on so you never miss episodes of the podcast. They're coming out thick and fast like I just mentioned. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast, and I will see you later. Goodbye.